Anglo-Maratha War. So in this lesson, we are going to study about the background of Anglo-Maratha War, then the first Anglo-Maratha War, the second Anglo-Maratha War, then the third Anglo-Maratha War. Okay, so let's start with the background of this Anglo-Maratha Wars. So the third Peshwa Balaji Bajirao was unable to bear the shock of the defeat of the Marathas in the third battle of Panipat, and he died on 23 June 1761. So we have seen that there was the third battle of Panipat between Marathas and Ahmad Shah Abdali, and Marathas were routed in this battle. So he was succeeded by his son Madhav Rao. So after the death of Peshwa Balaji Bajirao could not bear this shock of the third battle of Panipat, and he died. And after that, his son Madhav Rao succeeded him as next Peshwa, and who kept in check the ambition of his uncle Raghunath Rao. So actually his uncle Raghunath Rao, he wanted to become Peshwa, but Madhav Rao was the real heir to the throne of Peshwa, and Madhav Rao became the next Peshwa. So the Madhav Rao, he maintained the unity among the Maratha chiefs and nobles, and very soon recovered the power and prestige of the Marathas, which they had lost in the third battle of Panipat. So Madhav Rao was able to revive the Maratha power after the third battle of Panipat, when he succeeded his father as Peshwa. So the English became conscious of the growing power of the Marathas, and got the opportunity to crush their re-establishment, and soon after the death of Madhav Rao in 1772. So as Marathas were trying to re-establish, the Britishers, especially the English East India Company, they got conscious of this growing power of Maratha, and after the death of the Madhav Rao in 1772, they tried to crush the re-establishment of the Maratha power. So the internal conflict among the Marathas was very important, because this internal conflict among the Marathas was best utilized by the British, as they have always utilized the internal conflict. You take any state and they have utilized the internal conflict of the state to establish their power in that state. So same thing happened with the Marathas also. The internal conflict among the Marathas was best utilized by the British in their expansionist policy. So the first Anglo-Maratha War. So the primary cause of the first Maratha War was the interference of the English in the internal affairs of the Marathas. After the death of the fourth Peshwa Madhav Rao in 1772, here is the image of the death of the last rituals performed by the Peshwas on the last rituals performed by the Marathas on their Peshwa Madhav Rao, who died in 1772. And after the death of the Madhav Rao Peshwa, internal dissensions among Marathas left them weakened. Internal dissensions, there was internal quarrels going on in the family, and this weakened them. So brother of Madhav Rao, after the death of Madhav Rao, his brother Narayan Rao became the Peshwa, but again his uncle Raghunath Rao wanted to become the Peshwa. So Raghunath Rao was a big contender for this. He was a major contender of the for the post of Peshwa. So for this he sought the help of the English. To become Peshwa, Raghunath Rao sought help from the English, and so the Treaty of Surat in 1775 was signed, according to which Raghunath Rao ceded Celeste and Bessin to the English, and in return he was given 2,500 soldiers. And the British and army of Raghunath Rao attacked the Peshwa and won. Here is the image of Raghunath Rao. So the British Calcutta Council and Warren Hastings, two important names. The British Calcutta Council and under Warren Hastings, because Warren Hastings was the president of this British Calcutta Council. So British Calcutta Council under Warren Hastings annulled this treaty, the Treaty of Surat, okay, annulled this treaty, and a new treaty, the Treaty of Purandar, was signed in 1776 between the Calcutta Council and Nana Fadnavis, a Maratha minister. And accordingly, Raghunath Rao was given a pension only, and Celeste was retained by the British. So, but the British establishment at Bombay violated this treaty and sheltered Raghunath Rao. What happened? British Calcutta Council refused to support Raghunath Rao as Peshwa, and they signed a new treaty, the Treaty of Purandar, with the real Peshwa. Okay, the Calcutta Council signed a treaty with Nana Fadnavis, who was the Maratha minister, and accordingly Raghunath Rao, he was not given the post of Peshwa, but he was given only pension, and the island of Celeste was retained by the British. So but the British establishment at Bombay, now this treaty was with Calcutta Council, but the Britishers who were in the Bombay, they violated this treaty and sheltered Raghunath Rao. They wanted Raghunath Rao to become the Peshwa. So in 1977, Nana Fadnavis went against his treaty with the Calcutta Council and granted a port on the west coast to the French, because the French people were the main rival of the English East India Company in India. So दुश्मन का दुश्मन हमारा दोस्त. So this policy was followed, and Marathas also helped French on the west coast. Okay, so here you can see the Maratha, so the British naval attack on the Marathas. So this led to the British to advance a force towards Pune. Why? Because Marathas have broken the treaty and they have helped the French. So there was a battle at Vadgaon near Pune, in which the Marathas under Mahadji Shinde secured a decisive victory over the English. Actually, what happened? The British themselves broke the Treaty of Purandar, and they sheltered Raghunath Rao, who was ambitious for the post of Peshwa. So this angered the Nana Fadnavis, and he also gave the west coast, the port, to French people for the trade, and English also got agitated. And this way the first Anglo-Maratha war started, and under the leadership of Mahadji Shinde, Marathas defeated English at the Battle of Vadgaon. Remember this. This may be a question. Battle of Vadgaon, and secured a decisive victory over the English. So the English were forced to sign the Treaty of Vadgaon in 1779. Okay, so the new treaty was signed, the Treaty of Vadgaon, in 1779, and there was a series of battles, at the end of which the Treaty of Salbai was signed in 1782. And this treaty, the Treaty of Salbai, now this treaty is very important. Remember the name of this treaty, Treaty of Salbai, in 1782. And this treaty ended the first Anglo-Maratha war. Okay, so is the image of the Treaty of Salbai, which was signed between the English East India Company and the Marathas. Okay, so what was the result of the first Anglo-Maratha war? So the result was the East India Company retained Celeste and Bharuch, Celeste Island and Bharuch, and it also obtained a guarantee from the Marathas that they would retake their positions in the Deccan from Hyder Ali of Mysore. Okay, and the Marathas also promised that they would not grant any more territories to the French, and Raghunath Rao was to receive a pension of rupees 3 lakh every year. And All territories taken by the British after the Treaty of Purandar were ceded back to the Marathas, and the English accepted Madhavrao II, that is son of Narayan Rao, as the Peshwa. So this was the outcome of the first Anglo-Maratha war, but it did not stop here. It was followed by again the second Anglo-Maratha war. And after the Tipu Sultan's Mysore was captured by British in 1799, the Marathas were the only major Indian power left outside of British domination. So at that time, the Maratha Confederacy consisted of 5 major chiefs or 5 major families. So the Peshwas were at Pune. We have studied this earlier, right? So the Peshwas were at Pune, the Gaikwads at Baroda, the Holkars were at Indore, the Scindias at Gwalior, and Bhosles at Nagpur. Now remember the family name and the place, okay? So Peshwas at Pune, Bhosles at Nagpur, Scindias at Gwalior. So this may be a question in match the pairs, okay? So remember this, memorize this thing, pause the lesson and write it down in your copy and try to memorize this thing, okay? Make notes, make short notes from this topic, from this lesson. I will suggest you to make short notes from every lesson. So there were internal squabbles among themselves, among the Marathas themselves, okay, because these 5 families were actually jealous of each other and trying to overpower each other. Some petty politics is going on. So these 5 major families of Marathas were ruling these 5 places, and internal squabbles were among themselves. So Bajirao II, the son of Raghunath Rao, was installed as the Peshwa after the death of Madhav Rao II. So Bajirao II became the next Peshwa after the death of Madhav Rao II, and Bajirao II was a son of Raghunath Rao. So in the Battle of Pune 1802, Yashwantrao Holkar, the chief of the Holkars of Indore, defeated the Peshwas and the Scindias. As we have seen, there were 5 families and petty politics was going on between these 5 Maratha families, and in similar some battles were also there, and one of that battle, the Battle of Pune in 1802, Yashwantrao Holkar, the chief of Holkars of Indore, and defeated the Peshwas and the Scindias. And now this Bajirao II, he was the Peshwa at that time at Pune. So Bajirao II, he was defeated and he sought a British protection and signed the Treaty of Bassein with them. So after he got shelter, he went to the shelter of Britishers, the English East India Company, when he was defeated in the Battle of Pune by his own people. The Yashwantrao Holkar was also a Maratha chief and he defeated the Peshwa. So by getting defeated by his own Maratha member, he took shelter of Britisher, the English East India Company, and as per this treaty, he ceded territory to the British and agreed to the maintenance of British troops there, because he thought, so that time Bajirao II was defeated and his troops were very weak, so he maintained British troops with him in his territory, and some territory was ceded to the British, okay. So here is the image of second Anglo-Maratha war. So the Scindias and the Bhosles did not accept this treaty, okay, and this caused the second Anglo-Maratha war in central India in 1803. The treaty which was signed by the Treaty of Bassein, which was signed by Bajirao II with the English East India Company, this was not liked by the Scindias, because Scindias were afraid of this Englishmen. The Scindias and the Bhosles, they did not like this treaty and they did not accept this treaty, and thus the second Anglo-Maratha war in central India, okay, in 1803. So the Holkars also joined the battle against the English, at a later stage. So Scindias and Bhosles, they attacked British, the Second Anglo-Maratha War. So the result was all the Maratha forces were defeated by the British in these battles. And the Scindias signed the Treaty of Surji Anjangaon in 1803, and through which the British got the territories of Rohtak, Ganga, Yamuna, Doab. By signing this treaty of Surji Anjangaon in 1803, Britishers got Rohtak, Ganga, Yamuna, Doab, Gudgaon, Delhi, Agra region and Badoj, and some districts in Gujarat and parts of Bundelkhand and Ahmednagar fort. So by signing this treaty of Surji Anjangaon, this treaty was very important for them. They signed this treaty with Scindias. Remember this treaty of Surji Anjangaon. It was signed after Second Anglo-Maratha War. So the Bhosles signed the treaty of Devgaon in 1803. They were also defeated. The Bhosles were also defeated in the Second Anglo-Maratha War, and they also signed a treaty, the Treaty of Devgaon in 1803, as per which the English acquired Cuttack, Balasore, and areas west of Varda River. Okay, and the Holkars also signed the Treaty of Rajghat in 1805. Treaty of Rajghat, and according to which they gave up Tonk, Bundi and Rampura to the British. And as a result of the war, large parts of central India came under British control, because after the decline of Mughal power, the Marathas were the only power which were commanding a huge army and huge control over the India. So after their defeat, the power directly went to the English East India Company, because the Marathas ceded a lot of territory to the English East India Company after their defeat. So this resulted into the Third Anglo-Maratha War. Now, after the Second Anglo-Maratha War, the Marathas made one last attempt to rebuild their old prestige, but they wanted to retake all their old positions from the English. So now, they got this wisdom very late, that now it is the time we should make a last attempt to regain our all territories. We should recapture our territories. So they made a last attempt to rebuild their empire. So they were also unhappy with the British residents' interference in their internal matters, because after the Second Anglo-Maratha War and defeat in the Second Anglo-Maratha War, the British residents were placed in their court, in the Maratha courts. So usually these British residents interfered in the internal matters of the Marathas, and Marathas were very angry with these British residents. So the chief reason for this war was the British conflict with the Pindaris, whom the British suspected were being protected by the Marathas. Now what happened? Britishers were having a conflict with these Pindaris, and Britishers thought that these Pindaris are protected by Marathas, and this was the reason for the Third Anglo-Maratha War. So the Maratha chiefs, Peshwa Bajirao II, Malhar Rao Holkar, Mudhoji II, he was Bhosle, forged a united front against the English East India Company, and Daulat Rao Shinde, the fourth major Maratha chief, was pressured diplomatically to stay away. But the British victory was swift, because now Maratha power was not that powerful as it used to be. This time it was very easy for the English East India Company to defeat Maratha, and in the Third Anglo-Maratha War, Marathas were defeated. And what happened? This time The Peshwa surrendered in 1818. Remember, Peshwa surrendered in 1818. A lot of times this question has been there in our exam. So in 1818 the Peshwa surrendered and he was dethroned and pensioned off to a small estate in Bithur near Kanpur. Most parts of his territories became part of the Bombay Presidency, which was later on ruled by the English East India Company and the British Crown. And his adopted son Nana Sahib became one of the leaders of the revolt of 1857 at Kanpur later on. Okay, later on the Nana Sahib became the leader. So in this way they lost their prominence in the area and Peshwa Bajirao was sent to Bithur. So what happened? The territories annexed from the Pindaris became the central provinces under British India. And this war led to the end of Maratha Empire. All the Maratha powers surrendered to the British after this war, and an obscure descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was placed at as the ceremonial head of the Maratha Confederacy at Satara. So after defeating all the Peshwas and the five chief families, they were defeated and their kingdoms were confiscated and some were given to rule. So by this, after that, the obscure descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was placed as a Maratha king in the small kingdom of Satara, and he was made a ceremonial king of Marathas. So this was the last major war fought and won by the British, and with this the British controlled most parts of India directly or indirectly. So the defeat of Marathas resulted into emergence of English. So this is very important. After defeating Marathas, English emerged as a powerful state or powerful empire in India. Okay, so that's all about the Anglo-Maratha wars, and in next lesson we are going to study about the Anglo-Sikh wars.